Castlevania has had multiple games released over the past 30 years, some being in both the top and worst game lists of all time. We've seen the game go from linear platformer to Metroid-inspired adventure to 3D action, with some success and failures along the way. But in 2008 we were treated to the first and only fighting game in the series, and Castlevania Judgment is an interesting spin on the famous franchise. Using the good old plot device of time travel, you take control of fan favourite characters and battle it out in arena-style combat. There's not a great deal of choice on who to fight as, especially at the beginning where most of them are locked out, but there are ones that you should expect. Alucard, Simon and Trevor Belmont, Dracula, they're all here. But there's also Maria, Eric Lacard, Grant, and even a Golem for whatever reason. They all have abilities and playstyles that reflect moves from their games, but the biggest change is the art style. Reimagined by Death Note and Hikaru no Go manga artist Takeshi Obata, this is one of the biggest gripes most people have with the game. Personally, I'm a big fan of their art, so I really like how some of the designs look, especially Death, Grant and Simon. It is a little weird to see Eric so young and Cypher and Shanoa looking so different than their other iterations, but overall I don't have an issue with how they all look. There's multiple modes to pick from. Story has you pick a character and play through 10 fights with each character, having mini cutscenes against certain foes to flesh out the narrative, but also do a bit of fan service along the way. It's all voice acted, and for the most part it's done well, though some of the lines and delivery is hilarious.
They're huge.
Will you stop? These things only get in the way.
How can you say that? Those are a sacred gift!
Why, hello, sweetie pie. You'll make a nice little appetizer.
Even the vampires are bigger than mine!
What are you babbling about?
Once complete, you unlock a new character and so on. With all characters unlocked, you do get a true story mode finale though, where you face off against the main big band of the game. Each character doesn't take too long to bash out, and the banter between the other characters as well is entertaining to watch. You have regular attacks that can be changed by pressing different directions, specials that can be charged, unblockables and hyper attacks which deal 50% damage as long as they connect. They're all pretty flashy, with Maria's being my favourite to use due to it almost being a joke and making me laugh watching these legendary characters lose to such a move. There's also breakable objects that are strewn around the stage that can give you sub-weapons to use, hearts for the ammo for them, and health power-ups. Most fights, at least against the computer, boil down to one tactic: block and punish. Whilst that's nothing new to the fighting game community, this game is pretty broken because of it. All it takes is blocking the computer's first attack, punishing it, and rinse and repeat. It takes about 3 to 4 times of doing that and you've won, and can be sped up even faster by just hitting a hyper which will wipe out half their health bar. There's also not much reason to do anything else as it works so well, mainly because if you try to do anything like just randomly attack, the computer will do the exact same thing back to you. Other than the story mode, you can select arcade, versus, survival or training mode, all pretty self-explanatory. But the other two standouts are castle and accessory modes. Castle mode is kind of like Soul Calibur's Weapon Master mode, 30 different missions with varying stipulations until complete. Some are just a fight with less health or no guarding, whilst others have you defending barrels or having to win using certain moves. Again, not particularly hard, but a nice change of pace to the regular fights. In doing these you unlock accessories and musics, which can also be unlocked in some of the other modes. You can then use these accessories to dress up your character in however you see fit. Want to see Alucard wearing a pair of horns and glasses to instill fear into your opponent? Well, this is the mode for you. There's not a massive selection, but considering you have to play as all the characters in every mode to unlock them all, it does mean there's something to work towards once you finish the story. Art style of the characters aside, the game looks great for a Wii title. It runs smooth and the arenas show off iconic locations from different games. The camera is a bit wonky as you don't have direct control over it, so you can end up unable to see the action, or it can skew to a weird angle due to the level's gimmicks. The music, however, is probably the best thing here, unsurprisingly, as it features remixes of classic Vania tunes whilst you fight. A great thing to hear, but annoying because fights rarely last longer than 15 to 20 seconds, though you can listen to them all in the gallery mode, so it's not the end of the world. Overall, I've really enjoyed my time playing this game. After hearing nothing but negative reviews about it, much like Castlevania 64, when I finally had a go at it myself, I realised that it's nowhere near as bad as what everyone says. It's actually pretty fun. I don't believe that Konami ever thought this was going to be a Street Fighter or Soul Calibur beater. They just wanted to release something a little different from the Metroidvania titles that came out year after year. The gameplay and controls are simple enough that anyone can pick up and play it, but if you did want to make some flashy combos or delve a little bit deeper into the mechanics, then there's also room to do that. It is a bit pricier than it should be at the moment though, and that's probably due to the fact it just carries the Castlevania brand name on it. But if you like the series and you see it for cheap, then I'd highly recommend picking it up, especially if you are a fan, because there's enough here to keep you entertained. You might be surprised at actually how fun this game can be, especially if you get a couple friends together. Anyways, I've been Tom from Jakejames Gaming, thanks for watching and have a great gaming day.
Burn away. You don't belong in this world. Return to darkness.